refugee. The anti-immigration group, the Minuteman Project, announced yesterday they're seeking to strip Columbia University of federal funding for what they say are violations of their civil rights. Last week, student demonstrators disrupted a speech by Minuteman founder Jim Gilchrist. He was invited to the school by the college Republicans.
The Minuteman Project!
Over 20 students stormed the stage after Gilchrist came to the microphone, and 2 students unfurled a banner reading, "No human being is illegal." On Friday, Columbia University President Lee Bollinger issued a statement that read in part, quote, "The disruption on Wednesday night that resulted in the termination of an event organized by the Columbia College Republicans in Lerner Hall represents, in my judgment, one of the most serious breaches of academic faith that can occur in a university such as ours." Bollinger has vowed to launch an investigation into the students' actions, but at a news conference Monday, the students claim that they were assaulted. They point to a video taken by a reporter from Univision. They say it depicts a member of the Minutemen kicking a student in the head. Well, Jim Gilchrist, who was the speaker at the event, joins us now from Irvine, California. He's the founder of the Minuteman Project and the co-author of Minutemen, the battle to secure America's borders. Here in studio in New York, I'm joined by Karina Garcia. She's the political chair of the Chicano caucus at Columbia University. Her group organized the protest outside the Minutemen event. We asked a representative from Columbia University to join us as well, but they declined our invitation. Let's start with Jim Gilchrist. Can you talk about why you came to Columbia and what your message was?
Yes, thanks for having me on your program. We came to Columbia from the invitation of the Republican Club, student club at Columbia University, to speak about the book that Dr. Garcia and I wrote. Dr. Garcia also was scheduled to speak right after I was, and also about our views on the illegal immigration crisis that the United States is facing. We were there simply to disseminate information, not engage in what we've been accused of as some kind of xenophobic racism. It's simply a lecture presented by 3 of us. Marvin Stewart, an African-American member of my board of directors, Dr. Jerome Corsi, and myself.
And when you got to the university and you were giving your address, what is your view of what happened?
There was a concerted effort to forever shut down the First Amendment by those who disagreed with what we were going to talk about. This is not something new. It's something that's been attempted in the past by other either student groups or anarchist groups. The International Socialist Organization, whose goal is to stamp out free speech if they do not agree with it. So this is not something new. I didn't expect a storming of the stage, although it didn't surprise me, because I had mentioned earlier to security that they should have uniformed badge-carrying officers in front of the stage to deter something like that from happening. It's a shame what happened. It'll go down in history forever as a day of infamy in Columbia University's annals.
Karina Garcia, your perspective on what happened and where were you?
Sure, thank you for having me. It's ridiculous for them to have turned it around and said that it's an issue of free speech. What we actually saw was 2 groups exercising their right to freedom of speech. One group was promoting hatred and violence, and the other group was loudly opposing it. We never asked for the university, or for anybody for that matter, to ban this man from speaking. He was able to reserve a hall in our auditorium. He had the security of the New York City Police Department. He had the security of Columbia University Public Safety. Nobody attacked Mr. Gilchrist. As a matter of fact, if you look at what his comment was the very next day on Fox News, he laughed about the situation and said that he was ready to give the very first Minuteman knuckle sandwich, which just goes to show how this man wasn't attacked at all. As a matter of fact, we were the ones that were attacked when we went up to unfurl a banner that said, "Say no to racism." And it was our right and our duty and our obligation to stand up on the stage and say, this man is a murderer, this man is a racist, and we do not support him.
And what then happened when people went up on the stage?
When we went up on the stage, we were attacked by the Minutemen, as is evident in the Univision coverage.
And your response to the president of your university, Lee Bollinger's statement on Friday?
I think that he was feeling a lot of pressure from the right-wing media, Fox News, Bill O'Reilly, going on TV when the university is in the middle of a capital campaign and telling donors to stop giving money to the university, them turning this into a free speech issue, which it was not. I think that he was feeling a lot of pressure to react and react quickly without actually seeing the evidence. And I think that if you look at his statement now, I think it's a lot different once the Univision coverage was shown. And then it showed who really were the people who were attacked and who were the aggressors in the situation.
Outright propaganda.
Jim Gilchrist, your response.
Yes, I'm going to end this interview for the outcome of, based on legal advice. What this lady is doing is putting a complete spin to her advantage. I've never murdered anybody. I've never engaged in violence. I've never encouraged any violence or racism, nor has anyone in the Minuteman Project. This was a covert, a concerted, premeditated effort by people like Ms. Garcia to stifle the First Amendment.
What about your ties to the National Alliance?
I'm going to end this now, and you can deal with the law firm that's going to probably name you and your cohorts as defendants. I'm going to have to end this now based on advice from legal counsel. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and run away.
Jim Gilchrist, I'm puzzled. Are you sitting there with a lawyer?
That's it.
We have just been cut off from our contact with Jim Gilchrist, who is in a studio in Irvine, California. Says he had legal counsel to stop talking. Jim Gilchrist, the founder of the Minuteman Project and author of the book Minutemen. Karina Garcia, your response?
He's a coward. He's very tough when he has a shotgun and he's in the middle of a desert intimidating defenseless immigrant families. But when it comes to being challenged by peaceful protesters and by people who understand this man and this organization for what they are, he runs away. And I think that was evident right now.
What was your comment about the National Alliance?
It's a known fact. This group recruits people from the National Alliance, one of the biggest neo-Nazi organizations in this country. This is an undisputed fact. Now, the fact that this organization is trying to clean up its image now, the fact that Jim Gilchrist has taken off his Klan hood and put on a suit, doesn't mean that he isn't what he is and that his organization isn't what they are. David Duke took off his hood too. He tried to run for governor of Louisiana, and he put on a suit, and does that change the person that he is, what he represents? Not one bit. What he represents in the Mexican community is the same thing, what the Minutemen represent in the Mexican community is the same thing that David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan represent for the African American community.